Both New York State and New York City made some very large moves this week in terms of COVID. New York State put in a mask mandate for all public spaces or all non-private spaces, and that does include any office space, that mask wearing must happen unless everyone in that workplace is vaccinated. So that's a pretty big move, and that might affect a lot of places where perhaps masking was not happening quite as much, but yet not everyone was vaccinated. At the same time, on December 27th, New York City is now expecting all employers to require vaccinations from absolutely everyone, every employee, in order to allow them to work. There is room for potential accommodations. That would be for either medical or religious purposes. There is a process that the employee has to go through in order to provide documentation. And even once that documentation is provided, employers do have certain choices. They can either grant the accommodation and allow the employee to test out each week and wear a mask all the time, or a determination might be made that it is overly burdensome for the employer to allow anyone in the workplace that isn't vaccinated, including those who have an exception and an accommodation, and therefore that employee may not be allowed to come back to work, may not be able to continue working. It all depends on the situation for that particular employer. So then the two of these things kind of work together. So let's say an employee is granted an accommodation and that employee is allowed to come to the office and is not vaccinated but is testing. Now everyone in that office technically has to wear a mask because now you don't have full vaccination in that particular workplace. So these two laws can actually, they have to work together. They have to be in sync with one another. Add that to New York HERO Act, add that to the federal OSHA Act, which of course is currently being fought in federal court. There are healthcare rulings. So there are all kinds of things happening that could add to these laws, or perhaps they won't. But either way, New York employers have to take note right now. There are things that went into place this week and things that have to be put into place by December 27th. Employees have to be made aware of this so that they will provide their vaccination proof. And we can help with all of that. So if you're confused, which if you're watching this, if you work in New York, there's confusion, there's no doubt. Give us a call, send us an email, and we can help out. Thanks a lot.